still early in the morning, if early is 8 o'clock, and we got Malachi and Eden along for a wonderful pilgrimage, and so we're just awaiting their dad, Professor Compton, who will soon be here.
So we're talking about pilgrimages, and I'm just giving a little introduction to, how we're going to conduct this one. And I was just explaining to Malachi and Eden and Greg here that in order to change a walk into a pilgrimage, part of it is utilizing language, right? So you do high glory language. So there's that concept you guys know about in the scriptures. Paul talks about degrees of glory like the stars, the moon, and the sun. Yeah. So a walk is like going for a walk. That's like the stars, right? A moon might be, hey, we're going for, I don't know what a middle
blessed. It's usually blessed
walk or something like that. Or you're going on a pilgrimage. That would be superlative language. That would be high glory. That's like, so in order to change that, a lot of times to help facilitate your mind to believe, to really grasp a hold of that concept, you got to do things that are special, right? So one of those things that are special is to have a theme for your pilgrimage. So pilgrimage, typically you go to a sacred site or a sacred shrine, a special destination that has significance. So the one that we picked is Big Springs in Fountain Green, Utah. It's basically the water source for the entire town, the reason why this town exists. And so it's fenced off, but we're going to try to find the fountainhead, where the spring comes out. And if possible, we'll take a drink from that spot where it comes out. And so in order to continue to make a high glory, the theme for this that we're going to kind of do a mantra about or think about as we pilgrimage is found in the scriptures, and it says, these are the words of Christ, and it says, but lay up for yourselves treasures in heaven, where neither moth nor rust doth corrupt, and where thieves do not break through and steal. So we're looking at something that has eternal value that can't be taken from you. For where your treasure is, there will your heart be also. And that's kind of the theme right there, more than anything, is thinking about where our treasures are, what we value, and are they aligned with things that are eternal or just temporal. And so we're going on the spiritual walk. And then as we do that, we contemplate, ideally with pilgrimages too, you go to higher ground. We've been driving from the base of the town up to this high point, and this high point is right, there's probably another, I don't know how many 100 feet to the top of the mountain, but it's near to the top, and the water always flows down. And so we're at the cleanest part of it. And as you do that, and you reach higher ground, a lot of times you have clearer vision, and with that clarity, as you've been contemplating something, you invite revelation, and revelation comes to you. And as you do that, then once you reach your destination, you commit yourself more to that revelation, to that insight, and to that clarity, because when you descend the mountain, that clarity will dissipate over time. So if you cling on to it, and you can always just read, if you find yourself clouded and don't have clarity, well, you go on another pilgrimage, right? To reconnect and to add a greater insight and to commit yourself even more. And then as you do that, when you come down from the mountain, you rejoice in that clarity, you rejoice in that gift, you rejoice in the revelation and that commitment, because it empowers you. And so I'm going to read you the second part that you should do when you come down off of the mountain, or when you come down from that shrine or sacred spot. And this is also the words of Christ, and he says, put your trust in that spirit which leadeth to do good, yea, to do justly, to walk humbly, to judge righteously, and this is my spirit. Verily, verily, I say unto you, I will impart unto you of my spirit, which shall enlighten your mind, which shall fill your soul with joy. Okay? So that's what you're searching for. You're searching for enlightenment, and you're searching for joy to your soul. Okay? So you guys ready?
Yep.
To pilgrimage?
Yep.
All right, let's go.
Okay.
If you don't mind if I just kind of talk a little bit.
Sure.
you'll want to be really quiet, you know, contemplative, thinking about that. But I was just thinking about that last night. I was thinking about, look at this fence. There's kind of some symbolism here, right? They want to protect the sacred waters. And since our culture, we're not trained from from cradle to grave about the sacredness of water and how important it is, like an ancient culture would be. They might have shrines, you know, leading all the way up here to remind people about how sacred and important it is, right? Because you don't want the water to become contaminated. I heard it wasn't so long ago that, you know, older people who live in town, they used to come up here and go swimming, which would be great, right? But then one day somebody came up here and there were beer bottles and, you know, beer cans and litter and trash. And so they thought, hey, we would either have to have someone up here full time to protect this, because there are people who, you know, are maybe visiting or they don't understand the sacred nature of these waters. And so instead they had to put up a fence, which is sad, right? So there are lots of times there are these obstacles to sacred things, and you have to respect, you know, why they did that, and I understand it. But at the same time, it's sad. It would be better if we had built a culture that taught people to respect and value those things, and if people didn't, then we would take them aside and kind of instruct them. Because wouldn't this be much better if there was no fence and barbed wire?
Sure would. Then we could go swimming.
Yeah. And you could bathe in the sacred waters, and you could cleanse yourself and, you know, have that kind of a religious experience. But it's more utilitarian, you know, than anything else. And I think there's a spot right up here. You see that? So there's a primary, and then there's a secondary. I think we can access the secondary. And I'm gonna be bathed, and I'm gonna drink from it. But you guys don't have to. Or if you wanted to, you know, carry a sacred vessel with you and fill it up with water. And this would be a nice place to meditate too.
Yeah. It's pretty, it's nice.
I got some stickers on my phone. I got stickers all over me.
Just put your hands down, Malachi, on your side. Give yourself a drink.
Good job, Malachi.
That's good. Now, you wouldn't want to do that just from any old stream, okay? You guys
You
know
do it?
It's coming from underneath the ground. And that's the source. That's the only spot.
You want me to help you?
Yeah.
No?
Oh, you're not ready for it? Okay. All right, when you're older, you probably will be.
All right, I'm going to get a drink. You hold that
Hold
camera?
on. Sure.
Yeah, the water's probably, what, 50 degrees or something?
Yeah.
Okay. Nice.
Probably need more time, you know, to walk, you know, to have more time doing the pilgrimage, but that's just me. I think anybody, depending on, you know, how prepared their mind is or their spirit, could have the same experience with less time. But I think ideally for me, next time I go on this pilgrimage, I'll start lower down and I'll walk farther, just so I have more time to kind of, although I've been thinking about it because I've been preparing for it. But I think if someone was just to come, I think at least 15 minutes or so contemplative walking, and you could, you know, in nicer weather, or even in, you know, you could take off your shoes, you know, and walk up. That's another way to focus and center your thoughts, because you're walking and it's cold and you're barefoot and you feel every step. So there's lots of ways to enrich the experience, and so you can think about that, but this is just basically an introduction.